Hi everybody, welcome to my home. I'm Jean, and this is Bye Bye Loneliness, Scrammo while we're here together and chat and collage. So before we get started, I just wanted to do a little reminders that I don't know if you get maps in the mail, but I get maps in the mail, so I save them. This is from Save the Children, and sometimes I use maps as the background for my collages. And this is, now I have a color printer and that comes in handy, and I know not everyone does, but this is a larger collage I made. I actually framed it. I think it's like 14 by 20 or something like that. But I made this copy in color so I could just show it to you easily without taking the collage off the wall. And then if you have a black and white printer, and a lot of people have black and white printers, if you print it in black and white, you could get out your colored pencils and color it in. So that's something I just wanted to remind you of. I mentioned it at on other videos. I have a pillow behind my back. I have my water. Get yourself all set up. And also, if you find, like I did, I found this background in the National Parks magazine that came in the mail, and it's really wiggly. And then you can use as a harder background this. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's a harder background that was the cover or the back of some kind of magazine. Another one, this isn't as hard, but it's a little harder. So if I wanted to, and I probably will, I will glue stick this to one of those harder backgrounds when I'm done. Just wanted to remind you of that. I hope you're all doing good today. So I also want to tell you, I was reading an article. I think it was in like a writer's magazine or something. And it was about this woman who, she did a lot of her journalism and traveled. And when she did, she would take her family, and she had a young son. So her young son started to, in his mind, vacations were about work because his mom was working. So she wrote this article, and he was 18, and it was the summer, and he would be going to college. So she tried to make it less of a work vacation, even though she wrote an article about it. But it's funny how they got to talking as they were just hanging out. They went to the Bahamas. So they said things like, let's get busy separating the wheat from the chaff. Who are the Joneses people are keeping up with? Let's cry over spilled milk because it's messy. We can bark up the wrong tree, then climb it. I changed these a little bit. Let's look before we leap and hold hands. I'm just sharing these with you because I thought they were so funny. Let's count our chickens before they hatch. Kind of doing backwards on these things. Judge a book by its cover, then read it. Anyway, sharing that. And then another thing, I'm gonna really get brave today. I've done this before when I took writing classes on Zoom. I do that sometimes. I swallow. I take a pause, and I'm just swallowing is what I'm doing. We're a community. We're getting to know each other. We can get a little personal. I wrote this poem once, and it started to take a form like a song, and to the tune of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Okay, so I'm going to get brave and kind of sing it, recite it to you. So the title of it is Take Me, sung to the tune of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, with lots of extra stanzas. I know, it goes on and on. Take me down to the ocean, take me down to the sea, buy me salt taffy and boardwalk fries. I won't care if I ever go home. Sand and waves, I do love you. Seashells fill up my pail. Sun burns my skin, salt air curls my hair. Still, I don't care if I ever go home. Yes, I love all things that are ocean. flip-flops, smick-smacking my heels, tank tops, sundresses, and wide-brimmed hats, sandcastles, the boardwalk, and miniature golf. So let's go down to the ocean. I'll go down any time. Watch the sunrise with a cup of joe. Stake a claim that the ocean is mine. And that's way okay at the seashore. There's room for everyone here. You don't need much clothing or space to live. The beach and the ocean have plenty to give. Now it's time to live at the ocean any way that I can. Cottage or condo or in a tent, barefoot bikinied, wet sand in my toes. Oh, it's lovely here at the ocean. My door is open for you. Pull up a couch or a sleeping bag, and you may not care if you ever go home, for it's 1, 2, 3 million times better at the old seashore. Okay, I did that. That was brave. Now, let's see what I had to show you from last time. This is, pretty sure this is video 17. Now, what's in here? Oh, I know what. Okay. I do this, like, they call it pre-production ahead of time. Oh, but before I even went that, another thing I wanted to chat about real quick is if you've noticed the wall colors at my house. Yes, this is my house. It looks like a kindergarten room. We got lime green, we have orange, on this other wall is purple, and then another wall, and then the wall going up the stairs is turquoise. Now, I would have never had the bravery to do this to walls in my house, except when we were in between moving, we stayed at a furnished condo for about 3.5, 4 months. And they had these colors on the wall, and I loved it. It made me feel a little more upbeat, even on days when I felt kind of blah. At least the house had color. And my husband likes it too. We thought, well, we'll just try it. You know, it would be costly to redo it, and hoping we didn't have to, but we don't have to. We like it. Okay, now on with, this is what happened when I made the final of the collage we were working on in video 16. This part looks so wrong. It's a window scene, and here's the person who came with the window scene. Then I cut out the top part, and I put parts of these people here. So sometimes it doesn't turn out exactly how you like. Or maybe someone in the arts would say, oh, that has some meaning, that's different. I don't know. But you have permission, I have permission. I can cut all these images out again and do something else with them, because you can do that. But right now, I just wanted to show you that. I put this shiny thing, it was like a little shiny, I don't know, doodad thing that came in the mail, on this little animal's nose. So that was fun. So that's how that happens sometimes. Now, let's get going with, oh, okay. So this is not done yet. I took some of the words, maybe some of them I was reading to you earlier about, yeah. Like, okay, let me see. Oh yeah, about counting your chickens before they're hatched and that kind of thing. And I wondered if I want to put them onto this collage. So let's try that first before we get to the next one. And we'll see if I want to keep it or if I'm just going to cut all the images off and start over. All right, so I'm going to tilt down the camera as I do every time, and I'm getting a little better at it. Okay, tilt it down to about there, and then turn it so you've all got a good view of my workstation here. I think you got a good view, yeah. So here's that, and here's the words. So let's see. Let's make lemons $1 a cup into lemonade only. So I thought about putting that over here on the window, outside part of the window. And then over here by the cat, maybe count chickens before they hatch. I could do that. And that gives it a whole different style. I usually don't use words. So let's consider that. I'm going to consider that. And for now, I'm going to put the words back in my little folded up piece of paper, because that's how I roll. Kind of like, what can I find to put these in? And then I'll get a paper clip and paper clip this to the collage and put it on the top of the pile to finish up. So I wanted to show you that. Here's the paper clip. And that's an option for this one, but also an option for this one is just cutting out those images again and starting over on something else. Because, don't know if I like it. All right, so here's our new one where I found this from a magazine. Let me see. Put this over here. I think that's how I do it. And put this over here. And this one, this image, with all this open space, the first thing I wanted to do was fill it with circles. And then I made star shapes. And I just started putting circles everywhere. That's what I did. I know. You're thinking, are you allowed to do that? You're allowed to. And this circle had a little bird in it. I don't know if you can see that. So I did that. So I put all these circles. I found some multicolored circles everywhere. Star shape. And you can put other shapes, whatever you want. So that is an idea that I was finding interesting. Fill it with circles. Here's something like a moon shape. Get them circles, get them all different colors, put them all around. And you don't have to have that many, but you fool around with them. And I like these multicolor ones because I can put them down in the dark spots. And I don't know if I want to use the one with the bird, because maybe this is like a little more abstract-y. Here's one. So, you know, it's just the idea like, how many are we going to use? You know, that one seems too big. I don't want to use that. I don't think I want the moon one. Take that away. Then we have this one. Maybe that will come down here. You know, so I start putting them on, then I start taking them off. And this came in the mail on like one of those freebie notepads that organizations will send you. I thought, well, that looks good down there. And they had this dog with all the spots. So I like that too in here. So I might take off this star. I don't know if I like the star anymore. You know, I like the multicolor circles, so I might have to cut out some more multicolor circles. But maybe that's good enough right there. And something tells me I want to go with the circles. But what about this skier? I kind of like that skier too. See, it can get very exciting. Oh, here's another multicolor one. So if I have this multicolor one, I can take away this plain one. So I'm veering away from the plain colored ones into the multicolor. I don't know if I'll keep that or not. And, oh, here's some more words. Put my words back with that. I don't know where that goes. And then we've seen this before, the guy playing the trombone. Nah, I don't know, maybe these giraffes. And there's something about this I like, but I'm not sure how to get that, how I like it. Let's try cutting it out now. I just want to show you that you just cut things out. Just cut them and do them and see how it looks. And I get worried too. I'm like, oh no, but what if I wanted to use that for something else? And now it's all cut. Well, that's how it goes. Something else will show up that you'll get excited about. And I'm trying to stay in the camera here for you. Okay, I don't know. That might go. We'll see. I'm going to put it there for a think about, because that's what I do. I do a lot of think abouts. And maybe one of these giraffes, a little baby giraffe, when they're born, they're so big. Okay. Oh, I know what else I wanted to say to you. You know how, if you watch YouTube videos, and I watch them, I like to listen to the interviews of authors I like. That might work with that giraffe. And then other ones too, not the ones with the author interviews, this doesn't happen so much, but there's other ones I see and they'll talk a little bit and then all of a sudden it's like they're wanting you to do something. I want you to do this. It will help me so much. Please subscribe. Please hit a like. Please hit thumbs up, blah, blah, blah. It'll help me so much. And I've never understood that. What do you mean help you? And I'm not a technology person. So I'm like, I'm not going to hit this button. I don't want everything bing bong and reminding me of stuff. Or what does it mean if I hit all these buttons, you know? Where's my information going to go? And I've only hit subscribe once. So I was talking to one of my husband's friends yesterday, and I said, yeah, you know, I got a channel, and my first video got a lot of views, and there's like advertisements on them. So he was getting all excited. These are guys who are retired. And he's like, well, you know, what about subscribers? And are you asking people to subscribe? And I said, no, I don't want to do that because, you know, that's not really my intention. My intention is, you know, let's get together, let's have a little community time, let's feel less lonely. You can listen to me read poetry or sing songs and make collages or try different things on collages. But then he said what happens is when people do that, the YouTube brains, their analytics or something, grab onto that, like subscriptions and likes and thumbs up, and they'll think, oh, and then they'll do more things with my videos to make them come up, like make them more visible on YouTube so people can find them easier. And that would be a good thing, because then maybe other people who are feeling a little lonely would find mine. So I don't want you to do anything you don't want to do. But he finally convinced me that's a good reason to say something to y'all. So that's all I'm going to say about that. And I will work on that, that collage with all the circles and the giraffe and the spotted dogs and see what I come up with. And we'll look at that again at the beginning of video number 18. So I'm so glad you came. I'm so glad we had this time together. So bye. See you next time.